Hello everybody, this is Daniel AG again. This time I'm coming with a video explains how to install SQL Server 2012 on your machine. We started offering SQL Server 2012 classes from last month onwards, so I believe this video will help you out to install SQL Server 2012 on your laptop or PC, whichever you want to. Well, let's talk about the prerequisites first. The minimum memory requirement for installing SQL Server Enterprise is 1 GB, and minimum hard disk space required is also 5 GB. And the talking about the operating system, anything above talking about the server operating system, it can be anything above Windows Server 2003 onwards with a latest service pack. If you have Windows 7, which is this is the laptop or PC operating system, you need to have Windows 7 with Service Pack 1. And in addition to all this, well, you also need to have .NET Framework 4.0, 3.5 Service Pack 1 will work, but it will not let you install all the features. So you must have .NET Framework 4.0. If you do not have that, well, you need to go and you need to Google it and install it first before even start proceeding with the installation process. Now, if you already registered for my training program, you might have received a invitation to share my SkyDrive. So once you go to the SkyDrive, you will be seeing the installation files for Windows Server SQL Server 2012. There are two versions of files out there. One is for 32-bit operating system and one is for 64-bit operating system. So in fact, I actually downloaded those files to my PC. So a local folder, and you can see I downloaded both, but in your case you need not have to. What is your operating system? Based on that, you can either download the 32-bit operating system file or 64-bit. So in my case I'm going to use 64-bit installation files I download from my SkyDrive. So when you download, well, you need to download the last three files you are seeing here. Don't worry about that folder here. You need to download the last three. Well, you already see that if you downloaded the files. So what you have to do is you need to right click on the second file here called as ending with a file name install. That file doesn't have any extension. So you need to right click on that file and then you need to say run as an administrator. Now, one thing you always need to remember is if you want to install Windows Server SQL Server 2012, you need to log into that machine where you want to install as an administrator. If you do not log in as an administrator and then try to install SQL Server, there is a very good chance that you will get an error at later point. So make sure that the login you use to log into your computer has an administrative privilege on that box. Okay. All right, let's continue here. So you need to click on run as an administrator. So when you click on run as an administrator, what happens is it will try to extract the file, the installation file. Well, I do not want to do that because I already extracted the file. So when you click on run as an administrator, you will see a status bar. And once the status bar is done, you will be seeing that it actually created a folder like this. Okay. And if you go inside that folder, you will see all the installation files you needed. So once you extracted the file which I mentioned, and then you go inside the folder, that extraction process creates, you will be seeing the setup.exe or the one with the green icon there. If you are trying to install it from your CD, well, this is what you are going to see first. You run the CD, or if you go to the file structure of the CD, you need to you will see the setup.exe or the setup with the green icon. Right click on that and then run as an administrator. Wait for a second. It is trying to open the SQL Server installation window. Okay, so it actually launched the SQL Server Installation Center. That is what Microsoft calls. Well, you need to click on the installation option on the left hand side, and then you need to click on the first blue link on the right hand side, which which is nothing but installing a standalone version of SQL Server. Click on that, and we are waiting for another window to pop up. Okay, it's slowly coming up. Now it is actually checking some settings here. All right, so the operation completed. It's all done. It passed 8, no failure, no warning. If you see a failure here, well, you need to fix that before you go to the next one. If you want to see the details, you can click on show detail, and then you'll see everything is back. So this is actually checking whether you have all the prerequisites on your PC. All right, click next. So click OK. Now we are waiting for another window to pop up. Okay, so we are trying to install a 180-day evaluation version, which is nothing but the enterprise version. The other options you have is Express. Don't go for Express. You need to go for, well, if you go for Express, Express doesn't have all the options in SQL Server. So when we attend the training, most likely you cannot do much on the database administration side. So always go for the evaluation. That's a 180-day trial. Next. Click on the I accept license terms. Click next. It is scanning for the installed setup files. It might take some time, so be patient. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. When this actually completes its process, I will come back. Okay, stay online. All right, seems like it is done. We are waiting for another screen to pop up. This process will also take some time. Okay. All right, now it's going through the setup support rules. Everything is fine. You can see some warnings for the Windows firewall. No need to worry. If you see it, you can simply ignore it. But if you see any error, well, you need to fix that before you proceed. All right, click next. We are going for SQL Server feature installation, which also include installing analysis services, reporting services, integration services, and other features. Click next. And if you are not familiar with SQL Server, I mean, SQL Server comes with a lot of features. I mean, it's optional features. So because it's optional features, the SQL Server installation gives you a lot of flexibility in customizing your installation. Well, in our case, well, we need to cover all the topics in the training program. So we need to go and install all the features available in SQL Server. If you want, you can selectively pick each one by checking on this checkbox, or you can simply say select all. So we are going to install all the features in SQL Server on this machine, on this particular instance. So click next here. Let me maximize this window, so then it will be more clear to you, visible to you. So click on maximize. All right, the installation rules has been verified. We passed everything. Good sign. Go next. Every SQL Server instance, every time when you are installing SQL Server you are actually installing a SQL Server instance, and each instance should have a unique name. So click on the name. Don't go for the default instance. Click on the named instance. Type in a name. I am going to say dev1. You can give whatever name you would like to. No space, nothing for the instance name. No special characters. I'm going for dev1. Alright, so when I click on the instance ID, whatever name you enter here will also automatically be copied to here. If you want to change the instance directory where that instance is installed, you could able to change it right here if you would like to. Otherwise, it will go for the default directory. Click next. I think I selected the wrong computer. This computer is a little bit slow. Alright, click next again, because it's actually checked the disk space requirement. If you do not have enough space, I mean, it's saying that it need only 2.2 GB, but I prefer to have at least 5 GB left to install SQL Server. So we have enough space, so click next. Okay, so these are the different components we are trying to install on this particular instance. If you selected only less components or features, I mean, whenever I say component, it's called as features. So since we selected all the features, you can see all the big list here. Otherwise, it will depend upon how many features you selected in the previous page. All right, so only thing you need to make change here is if you go next to the SQL Server agent, if you scroll all the way to your right, there is a setup type. Well, by default, if it is manual, change that to automatic. There are a couple of other manuals here for the SQL Server distributor replay client and SQL Server distributor replay controller. Don't need to worry, you keep it as manual. Okay, we will later change it. So click next here. Well, when you install SQL Server, when you log into SQL Server, there are two modes possible. One is the Windows authentication mode, and second one is mixed mode. No need to worry. We will be explaining all this in the training program. But at this point, you need to go for a mixed mode authentication and then type in a password which you can remember. And then confirm that password one more time. And before you click next, you need to add current user as an admin. So click on that add current user. Don't forget this. Click on add current user. Wait for a second. So whatever the current user is been added to this list here. If you want to add more, I mean, you can click on add, but we are not going to do that. So click next. You will be seeing a similar screen here. The only thing you need to do is, well, this is for the SQL Server analysis service configuration. Well, only thing you need to do is add current user here and wait for a second until it shows up here. You can see that it is showing here. Click next. And reporting service configuration, we are not making any change on this screen. We are going with the install and configure on a native mode. No worries, we'll be covering that in the SSRS training program. Click next here. Distributor replay client. Again, click on add current user. Wait for a second. Okay, it's showing up. Click next. No changes in this distributor replay client. We are not going to make any changes in this particular screen. We simply say next. Error handling, whether you want to report any error happened in this installation process to Microsoft. Well, if you want, you can send that. Otherwise, you can say next. All right, installation configuration rules has been passed. Click next. So this is the last screen before the actual installation process starts. So these are the different features and components we are going to install in this particular instance. So the moment you click on install, the actual installation process starts. And then one good thing about the SQL Server Installation Center is you can see what are the different steps you went through in this installation process. And right now we are in ready to install step. Okay, I am going to click on install. We will officially start the installation process. So far what we did, we configured the installation process. Now we are going, based on that configuration, SQL Engine, sorry, Windows operating system is going to install your SQL instance. So click on install. Okay, the installation process started. So this installation process take anywhere from 20 minutes to 1.5 hours. Depends upon it depends on the muscle power of your computer. So I am going to mute myself until I'm also going to post the video. So once this process is completed, I will come back. Okay, stay tuned to continue with this. Alright guys, I believe our installation process has been completed. You can see a green checkbox next to each feature we installed. You can actually scroll down because we installed a lot of features. So if you scroll down, well, if you see any, instead of seeing a green checkbox, if you see a red cross button, well, we need to you need to contact me, and we need to investigate what went wrong, and then we will repair your SQL Server instance. So at this point, this installation went smoothly, no issues at all. So what you can do is you can close here, and you can close the SQL Server Installation Center too. Now, if you want to check whether your installation is successful, you go to Start, All Programs, and scroll down. Look for the SQL Server 2012, expand that, and then click on SQL Server Management Studio. Take a minute. When you are opening the SQL Server Management Studio for the first time, it will take some time, so you need to be patient. All right, it's slowly starting up. All right, so by default, it will show you, if you look at the server name, next to the server name, it is the format is your computer name slash your instance name you provide during the installation process. You can, if you don't see that there, you can either type it in, or the best method is using the drop down, click on browse for more, and then click on the network servers. So now it's scanning your computer as well as your network and see what are the different instances you have. So expand the database engine node, and click on the one you installed, which is dev1. Click OK. Now hit connect. So you will see the Object Explorer on the right hand side, and you can see a green play button here. That means it is successfully connected to that particular instance, and expand it. You can see two databases here. This is part of this is the two databases installed by SQL Engine itself for installing the reporting service, or SSRS, we install in a native mode. Now, if you don't see this Object Explorer, what you can do is you go to View, and then you can see the Object Explorer, or hit F8, you will see that Object Explorer. So at this point, the SQL Server installation for 2012 version is completed. In order to do all the lab exercises and research papers on weekends, you need to have AdventureWork 2012 also installed. I will send you an email very soon explaining how to do that, or I will install a video at a later point explaining how to install AdventureWork. That's very simple. It takes less than 3 minutes to install it. So I will send you the script and where to download the files, etc. as a separate email. So at this point, the video is completed. So thank you for watching my video. Take care. Bye-bye.